President Julius Maada Bio has made history by becoming the first ever ECOWAS chairman to visit Burkina Faso since the country left the regional bloc ECOWAS and joined Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States AES. Or President Bio had previously promised to work towards restoring democracy by bringing Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger back into ECOWAS, an agenda he also discussed with the ECOWAS president Umar Ali Touré last month. In Ouagadougou, President Bio was warmly received by Burkina Faso's leader, Capt.Ibrahim Traore, as both leaders pledged to strengthen bilateral ties and promote cooperation between ECOWAS and the AES countries.
You know, if you can't really win them, the only thing you can do is to join them. Yeah, if you're fighting somebody that is over you in terms of knowledge, in terms of intelligence, in terms of thinking and all that, you better be very careful, because you are likely to be the person who's going to lose this battle. And ECOWAS has been fighting Burkina Faso for quite some time. It started with Bola Tinubu. Tinubu went out. Julius Maada Bio came, the president of Sierra Leone. He tried a little bit, but at the end of the day, what is happening is shocking. You see, there is one thing that I want to tell you, and this is the truth. Burkina Faso does not need any other country to survive or to work itself out or to work its own affairs or run its own affairs. It doesn't need any other country. I can tell you that without fear of contradiction. Something else that I can tell you without fear of contradiction is that Burkina Faso is doing well. Nobody should lie to you that Burkina Faso is not doing well. Burkina Faso is doing well in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of agriculture and everything. Burkina Faso is doing fine. Industrialization. And all these things started when Captain Traore came to power. So Traore has amplified, or rather he has catalyzed many things in Burkina Faso. So despite the criticism, the threats from the Western countries, especially America and France and many other countries, despite backbites from African presidents and African politicians, Burkina Faso has moved on regardless. It has been doing its own and running its own country without loans, and it's managing. They are not getting money from outside. They do not owe IMF right now. They are not owing World Bank right now, but they are doing better. They're really doing better. I can tell you that without fear. I cannot fear telling you that, because that's the bitter truth. Some other things might be lies that people say, but the truth, everything I've told you is the truth. And people in Burkina Faso, they are very much okay with their captain and with their president. Now, ECOWAS came out in power, came out and they started saying all of bad things about Burkina Faso. Oh, they are doing this, or they are doing that, or they are not following democracy and all that, just trying to make them weak, or trying to make them, try to make them suffer. So they had an intentions of making Burkina Faso suffer. They had an intentions of making them go through difficult time so that they will have no choice than to come back to ECOWAS after they have left ECOWAS. Okay? Now, people fell in love with Burkina Faso and the countries from the Sahel. People started hating the ECOWAS and countries that are in ECOWAS, because ECOWAS wanted to do everything to make sure they are trying to put or to bring down Burkina Faso. Are we together up to there? Now, we are seeing what is happening right now. The countries that used to push ECOWAS to frustrate Burkina Faso are Western countries, e.g. France and America. Okay? They were the people behind the frustrations that the countries from the Sahel were receiving from ECOWAS. They were the people behind. They were the ones pushing it. Okay, as we are talking right now, America is about to fall. And many African countries are withdrawing themselves from America, which means America is growing weak day by day. France has fallen already. You can see what is happening in France. Chaos, demonstrations, People are fighting the government because the government is an irresponsible one, an incompetent one. And therefore, people do not want to be led by people who are incompetent and irresponsible. They are demanding for the accountability from the government. The government is not ready to provide accountability. Therefore, they feel like this is a failed state, and therefore they want to bring it down. Right now, powers that France had to incite or gaslight the African countries that are under ECOWAS to frustrate the countries from the Sahel is no longer there. America is about to fall, and many countries from Africa are withdrawing. Now, the countries from the Sahel were being given some little things here and there, some little credits for them to frustrate Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. But when America is going to fall, now the little things they used to give these countries, they're not going to give it to these countries. And the leaders of ECOWAS, they're not going to receive it. So, when you look at this situation, there is only one person who's going to fail here. The countries from ECOWAS. They are going to fail very terribly. Because right now, there is no support from America. There is no support from France. And they've been frustrating the countries from the Sahel for quite some time right now. And the only country that is surviving here are the countries from the Sahel. Why? Because the countries from the Sahel, they withdrew themselves from France and America a long time ago. And for this time that they have had removed themselves, they've been surviving on their own. And right now, they're used to survive on their own. They know how to run themselves without depending on other countries. They know how to provide for themselves. They know how to work their things out without depending on other countries. And therefore, these three countries from the Sahel, they are now superior, and they're definitely superior compared to all the West African countries that are under ECOWAS. Now, the countries from ECOWAS and ECOWAS itself, they're smelling danger. Why? Because America is falling and because France has fallen. They're smelling danger in that they are going to remain on their own. When they remain on their own, they will become very weak. When they become very weak, the only organization or maybe the only organization that will be strong, it will be the Sahel. Sahel will be very strong compared to ECOWAS. Despite having three countries, they're going to be very strong because these ones are independent, but ECOWAS are dependent. The people that ECOWAS have been depending on, they are falling terribly. They are very weak right now, which means ECOWAS does not need, or ECOWAS has nowhere to depend again. And therefore, the only people they can run for, or they can run to for help, are the countries from the Sahel. And that is why Julius Maada Bio does not have any choice than to wake up one morning and decide to visit Burkina Faso to go and talk and strengthen relationship and be good to Capt.Ibrahim Traore. Of course, he won't say directly on the media that he wants him back to, that he wants his help. He will come and say he wants him back to ECOWAS. They are still friends. It's still a West African country and all that. We're going to work together. But the truth is that ECOWAS right now is weak. And ECOWAS cannot work anything out by themselves. ECOWAS has no powers right now because they used to depend on Western countries and Europe countries. The Europe countries that ECOWAS used to depend on for the powers they had, the countries are falling. The only remaining organization that is strong in Africa is the Sahel organization, which has been criticized by ECOWAS all these years. And that is why ECOWAS lacks no otherwise than to make friendship with Burkina Faso so that Burkina Faso can help, or Sahel can help the countries in ECOWAS. Otherwise, they cannot do it by themselves. Right now, the countries from the Sahel are superior than the countries in ECOWAS. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth without fear of contradiction. And that is why Julius Maada Bio had to go to Burkina Faso. Take a look at this video. I want you to watch it. Then I'll come back and say 1, 2, 3 things at the end. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you've not been able to do that. And for the returning subscribers, I really do appreciate you. I want you to share with me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think it's a safe move? Do you think Capt.Ibrahim Traore should give in to this friendship or this relationship or not? Until then, let's take a look at the video.
To start by thanking my brother, the president, and the people of this great country for the warm welcome that we always get when we come to Burkina Faso. Today has not been an exception, and on behalf of my delegation, I want to thank the President and the people that this time round I'm here on behalf of West Africa, ECOWAS, and also myself as a person, and on behalf of Sierra Leone. I'm here the second time because we have to show solidarity with a country that is making a great effort, but yet still held back because of the security situation. We want to see what we can do to let the world know what is happening in this great country and why it is important that we come together to help the security situation. I also have discussed with my brother and the whole of other people around the world that we need to keep the family, the West African family, together. We were once together, but today, because of certain developments, we seem to be divided. But I don't see that division, and I'm working as chair of ECOWAS to see how I can bring them back. We stay together. We are brothers. We can never be divided. So my visit here is solidarity, to show solidarity, to show him and Burkina Faso that you are not in this alone, and that we will do everything possible to make sure that we will have peace again in this country. And that which is supposed to be our preoccupation as developing countries, which is development, we will embark on that fully. I take particular interest because Sierra Leone has been in this situation before. I happen to have been a military man at that time in his position, and I know it quite too well. And I was able to navigate that situation. I was able to introduce peace in Sierra Leone, and today I'm a democratically elected president of that nation. So I come to share my experience with him and the other AES countries and to appeal to them. We have a proverb in our language: if your mouth gets rotten and it's smelling, you can't throw it away. You fix the mouth and you continue with your life. So we are brothers, we are in the same region, and we cannot afford to be apart. And that is why I keep coming here, to show you that we care and that we do everything to make sure that peace returns to Burkina Faso. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Welcome back again. Now, there is one thing that we need to learn here, and African countries and African politicians need to learn here. Nobody has power than Africa. And that is why Capt.Ibrahim Traore took a step of releasing the West, like releasing the Europe, the French country to go to their country, because Traore knew that I can do things by myself and I can manage. The same people who are looking for him, who had the power to travel to Burkina Faso to go and look for him, they are doing that because they know this guy told us the truth, but we never believed in him. A time has come when all the countries that used to depend on America and on France will perish with them if they're not careful. Burkina Faso will not perish. Mali and Niger, they will not perish. Do you know why? Because they took themselves out of these countries a long time ago. They've been working things out by themselves. And many people criticized them. They said, you can't do it by yourself. You can't stand by yourself. You can't move by yourself. Right now, even France, our President Emmanuel Macron feels like, at least I can just find time to talk to Capt.Ibrahim Traore to continue helping me the way he was helping me. And this is a true implication and indication that Western countries depend on African countries, because when African countries withdraw, they begin suffering, they begin crying, they begin shaking. So right now, Julius Maada Bio is going to Burkina Faso. Yet, Julius Maada Bio is the same person who immediately he took power, he began criticizing Capt.Ibrahim Traore and saying that they must come back to ECOWAS by force because they were being backed by people they thought they are great. The people they thought they are great right now, they are falling. They are going down. They don't have strength anymore. And therefore, these people lack, like they have no otherwise. They lack anything to do. They can't do anything else. They have no option than just to try and see how they can be able to strengthen relationship or make it up to Burkina Faso or make it up to Capt.Ibrahim Traore so that he can at least try and help them, because where we're going at a place where now, if you never took time to build yourself, or if you never took time, or if you didn't consider restructuring yourself or depending on your own self and working things out yourself without looking to other people or without expecting some maybe peanuts from other people, you're going to suffer. In many countries from the West African countries, from West Africa, they're going to suffer because they were under ECOWAS, which was being pushed and was being nursed by the Western countries like America and France. France right now has fallen, America is about to fall, and things are about to get tough. And therefore, they have to come back. I knew this will happen. I knew it. I was so bold about it. I was so bold about the winning of Capt.Ibrahim Traore. I was so bold about his win. This time round, I was so bold about his win. And I told myself, he might be the only president who refused the West and survived. He might be the only one. I said it and I had strong feelings about that. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read the comments and give a response where possible. I am a president of the African Streamline. I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you've not been able to subscribe. And for the returning subscribers, I really do appreciate you. I tell you, every day Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as black people. Until next time, peace be with you.